I've noted your acumen with a firearm, Agent Ibarra. You'd score highly in our ranged training exercises.
First on the draw is last in his grave. Proud of my skill, but I wouldn't say I take pleasure from the kill. Not like some.
However it may seem, I do not kill easily. One should be forced to feel the heat of a slain foe's last breath. Each slain must be remembered. Ranged weaponry allows one to excuse the act of killing too easily. Had I my way, everyone in Arcadia would engage only with their fists. May the system go to the best pugilist.
Troublemaker approaching. Got my lamps on an unfront.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say...
You must keep your blood within, Commander. have my thanks and my hammer.
To inform you, Zyranium Manufactory VII is presently under lockdown. Unauthorized entry is barred due to contrivance malfunction, laboratory mishap, and/or miscellaneous unspeakable dangers.
Please call again at a more convenient time.
Hello? Someone there? Yes? Did the missive not play, or was it garbled in some way? Are you somehow struggling with coherence? If so, to be clear, Zyranium Manufactory VII, presently and for an indeterminate time, is in lockdown. That means no external transmissions, no visitors. Wait, you have a writ? From the abbot? But we don't have any means of... yes, they said they have a... yes, sir. This is Factor Métadier. Am I to understand you have orders from the abbot? Quite convenient for you. I have no way of verifying without allowing you entry. Oh. Very well. Come inside and we'll see this sorted. Building on the left.
Yes, right over here. You're not getting down below until you talk to me. So, the abbot deigned to send someone whilst we're contending with all manner of emergencies, did he? Oh, and I see you have a Protectorate Arbiter with you as well. Of course.
Your casual method of address has been noted. Consider yourself thankful that present company stays my wrath. Some.
Surely. Far be it from me to question the irreproachable prudence of an enigmatic caller. Sometimes I cannot fathom what goes through the abbot's mind, but your papers do seem to be legitimate. I will unlock the elevator so you can speak with Proctor Svoboda below. I'll send word you're en route, but fair warning, I cannot predict what reception you will receive. I expect your behavior will remain impeccable. As soon as I've seen to securing the facility, I'll be along straight away. We have a working hypothesis about who is responsible. Initial evidence looks rather conclusive. And we have managed to corner the apparent perpetrator down below, which would be a good thing if they had not, somehow seized control of the manufactory operations. This facility has been an archetypical example of constancy and regularity. Ergo, the last place anyone would predict anything unpredicted would occur. Our suspect, one Initiate Alva, previously supervised launch controls. Though steadfastly maintaining her innocence, she has also barricaded herself in the operations control room below. A move not likely to allay anyone's suspicions. No, thankfully. Not yet, at any rate. Architect willing, that will be the last of it. Now, you'd best speak with our Proctor. I admit I'm, to a reasonable degree, pleased you are on hand to corroborate current suppositions. May your query yield favorable results. fate and fortune converge.
Apologies, but an automechanical's work is never concluded. This unit beautifully acknowledges your presence.
It evidently originated here. Transport pod full of Zyranium. Blue outpost opportunity to naught but tinges and flinders.
Wait, so has it been classified as an accident?
The Proctor's a low-functioning functionary at best. I mean, just look at this mess. That explosion.
Well, running a manufactory must require extraordinary, fastidiousness.
Little good that's doing us now. Little good that'll do us when Auntie's arrives.
This unit is currently unavailable for meaningless interaction. This unit's current work task takes priority over conversation. Farewell. Apologies, this unit's conversation module is functioning intermittently.
Well, aren't you the eccentric soul?
May all your theories prove true.
I'm not cleared to speak with random factors. I'm not cleared to speak with random factors.
Conversation is not possible at this or any time.
Initiate Alva, stand down. Relinquish control of this facility immediately.
Oh, my dear Proctor, you can't believe a low-level drudge like me is responsible for any of this.
You'd have us all believe you seized control to demonstrate your innocence. Wait, is this being broadcast?
I have no idea how this audio doodad works. You're the one in charge here, Proctor Svoboda. Are you sure you didn't do something?
I demand your unconditional surrender at
Hello, Proctor? I'm pushing buttons over here now. Did I disconnect you somehow?
Things have been a mite haywire.
yes, of course. Next on my list of lowest probability events, strangers sent by the Abbot, gallivanting about amidst a lockdown. If we'd been able to communicate beyond our walls, might have saved you a trip. As I can successfully report, we have identified the responsible party. I oversee this manufactory and all personnel, including those here under false pretenses. Apparently like this, initiate Alva. It's plainly obvious what her story is. A spy or turncoat, no doubt. A sleeper agent from one of those secret enemy programs you're always hearing about. Not all of us spend every waking moment at probabilistic analysis. Some have even more difficult roles to play. Administration, for example. Those dedicated wholly to the math do still miss things regularly, I should add. Calculating the probability of events, well, it's something of an imprecise science currently. Within a beat of us hearing of the attack, Alva seized command of the system and locked herself in the control center. She then forcefully repelled several attempts to extricate her. 2 are dead already. Poor Jacobs lost a hand trying to pry free the outer doors. Why, she could destroy this entire place at any moment from in there. I implore you to stop her before she does so. I fear violence may be our only recourse. Fervent professements of innocence, mostly. You know, exactly what you'd expect a secret traitress to claim. Dramatic attestations that grew quite animated. I suppose spies must build up a flair for histrionics, what with all that hiding their identities and all. Then bursting forth like a pent-up arachnid. At any rate, I have work to do, and you have a saboteur to eliminate, yes? You'll forgive me if I politely defer. While I'd hardly depict this as a crisis, I do have a few irons in the fire. I'll be in my office. Let me know once she's no longer a problem.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Hello. Come here often. Goodbye. This unit, enjoy our banter.
Are you going to be a problem? Because I have a solution that requires very little computation.
I have too much on my mind for idle numerical chit-chat. try not to deviate from the norm.
Now, this is important. Would you describe the Varachnid's calycery as slavering when it attacked? How much viscous fluid would you estimate was involved?
I don't know anything about the fluid's volume. Thing attacked. I shot it. There's goo all over the spot it emerged. Measure that, maybe.
Not in the mood for a random interaction, thank you.
You okay? Seem off by a few decimal points.
Lovely day for differential geometry.
Stop deviating from the baseline.
Consider finding a human companion if you seek conversation.
Of course she's hiding something. You think those two exemplars just fell wrong? They're hardly prone to involuntary self-injury.
Two exemplars, dead as Pythagoras. No one's been inside operation since. Just a run-of-the-mill golden mean initiate.
Don't listen to yourself. You're just proving your own substantiation. Her actions prove otherwise, I'd contend. I can tell we have little crossover of interests.
Alva's been here for how many years? I never noticed her. Just blended in with the scenery somehow.
Investigator. Factor said head on in.
Glad those not skilled at math can fulfill some other function. I only question them being in roles of significant authority.
Investigator? May all your endeavors add to the equation. Always account for standard deviation. circumstances proceed toward intended results. The circumstances proceed toward intended results.
Oh, hello. A visitor. Who is it they're sending now?
And who are you, dear? You're what? Some maverick for hire? Oh, no, I can see it now. Earth Directorate, yes? Like Commander Zane and that rascal Buddy. And who is that you brought with you? A friend? Could that be a Protectorate Arbiter? And someone else? Another Earth Directorate agent, I see. Seems sad.
Is she talking about me?
All this for me. Fear I hardly deserve such attention. This entire business is just a terrible misunderstanding. I expect few in the Order know of you, but, well, I've kept to a role here that is purposely not very taxing. Others prefer calculations in their spare time. I have my stories. Between launches, I enjoyed serials, 2-bit dreadfuls, periodicals. I adore Zane and Buddy, even if they are considered contraband. And you decidedly share their upright bearing. For the longest time, I didn't realize your organization actually existed. But here you are, well-timed and, no doubt, eager to help. Yes, that was terrible. I feel awful. Though technically speaking, they did kill each other. I didn't mean that to happen. They came at me, weapons drawn. My own training just took over. You see, years ago, I attended an introductory course at the Physical Education Center. I earned top marks. I've refused a few promotions over the years. Undemanding work provides me ample personal time for my stories. I enjoy speculative fiction. Does that make me suspicious?
Were you Protectorate? Absolutely. But within the Order? I'm sure you're typically atypical.
Dear me, I wish I did, but... Actually, there may be a way you could gain answers here. The firing record should contain all relevant details regarding the launch. Why, yes, I could unseal access to the records repository for you, and open the path leading there. I'd be right grateful if you'd have a look. I swear I'm completely innocent of this heinous act they're accusing me of. If you need to hear me say it, surely. I promise not to destroy this facility with all of us in it. Was that reassuring enough? Appreciate your help, dear. Please return when you have found something. May the plan favor us against long odds. Do so appreciate your help, dear.
May all your endeavors add to the equation.
Apologies, this unit's conversation module is functioning intermittently.
actual attack, I hear. Don't see Auntie's being too dissuaded by that.
Our Earth Directorate friend.
Well, hello. Have an update to share with Initiate Alva?
Hello. I've been conversing with Factor Métadier here while you were away. Understand you've met?
Yes, they witnessed me rather discomposed, I fear. Visions of Auntie's choice reprisal clouded my thoughts at the time.
The Factor is less accusatory in his questioning than certain others, which I respect. Good manners cost nothing, I always say.
Troops now guard the entrance above. Our safety addressed, I have turned my attention to the cause of our situation here, and I have deemed it wise to investigate further. Do not let my position fool you. All within the Order are scienticians, and hence we seek the truth of any hypothesis based on evidence. The Proctor's accusation is no different. A recent security audit brought up several curious messages meant for an unknown party, sent from a terminal somewhere on the premises. We were unable to track down the whereabouts of this mystery terminal, but one message contained certain oblique references to placing blame. Nothing conclusive, yet enough to give me pause.
You examined the launch records, yes? Did you find anything, dear? I'd say they've obviously been altered, dear. Fancy that odor you detected, a sign of chemicals used to effect the falsification. Ah, but listen to me. What do I know about this sort of thing? I know I've watched too many Aetherwave serials. Suppose they fuel my fervent imagination. But still, even the most junior scientician knows the best explanation is one requiring the fewest assumptions. Ergo, I set the correct coordinates. Someone overrode them. There should be ample time for regret later, dear. For now, I'll admit the armchair investigator in me wonders about Proctor Svoboda. Someone may be pulling her strings, perhaps. That's what investigators like you say, isn't it? Now, what you uncovered appears to imply two further avenues of inquiry. A Zyranium leak occurred moments after the launch. I imagine it may have been used as a diversion, allowing the culprit time to falsify the record. The overriding of the coordinates also deserves a look. Don't you think? I expect the Zyranium leak stemmed from alterations to the control boards and refinement logistics. I'd look for any signs of tampering that may point to the culprit.
I can speak to the coordinate override, I believe. All commands are routed through the hub in central processing. If one meant to accomplish what you're suggesting, they would likely look to do it there.
Oh, I'm full of hidden depths, dear, but this isn't the time. Later, I promise. Anything you want to know, from my first science crush to my scientician aptitude test scores. All right. There. I've unsealed both areas. With hope, what you discover will help us determine the responsible party.
I'll stay here and play for more time. If the Proctor sends anyone, I'll say I'm close to convincing you to surrender. May fate and fortune converge.
Inform us when you've investigated the two leads.
always account for standard deviation.
Svoboda sure has it out for that initiate. Guess I would too if Alva had killed a bunch of my colleagues.
Yes, suppose you'll do. I'd been hoping an empiricist or assessor would amble by, but you appear reasonably apt. The Zyranium overflow venting has gone completely haywire. Oh, what else will this higgledy-piggledy nightmare of a day bring? I was ordered to keep watch until a specialist arrives. Might I entreat you to act in such a capacity? The control board to divert the flow of Zyranium is up yonder in refinery logistics. If so, I have something for your time and effort. We developed a pharmaceutical primer that, technically it poisons you a little, but also heals you quite effectively. Shut off the gas, it's yours. Tremendous. Why, this day may average toward the positive yet. May deliberate endeavors beget expected results.
This unit beautifully acknowledges your presence.
you're back. I see my choice in you was well-founded. Zyranium overflow venting has returned to a non-haywire state, and my internal levels of disquietude have lessened along with it. This is anecdotal feedback at best, but I find sometimes a gift helps. Something that makes one feel deserving. And by assisting me, you have proven this. This card will allow you into our humble little research lab. It's right past operations, can't miss it, unless you do. The pharmaceutical primer I mentioned is inside on display. The Order regards potentially detrimental human testing as an unethical scientific boundary. We tried it on a cysty pig, though, and he came through. Reasonably no worse for wear. With the leak abated, I am fully prepared to be peppered with queries. You mean just after the attack occurred? I was in a state of anxiety at the time, and, well, I'm sure you're aware higher levels of cortisol can impede the encoding of memory. Not much. Keeps to herself mostly, or that is entirely. Like all of us, she resided in the barracks 15 degrees to the northeast from here. I am greatly grateful you were helpful and effective. Farewell. Yes, yes, I have had my fill of stochastic uncertainty today.
Proctor's been in there a while now. Perhaps this conundrum is approaching a solution.
May fate and fortune converge.
Inform us when you've investigated the two leads.
May the plan guide you.
Please don't take me on a cotangent.
We're still in lockdown, so I take it you haven't shot the traitor yet. I suppose some limited nosing about before dispatching her wouldn't hurt. Presuming she doesn't kill us all in the meantime.
May all your theories prove true.
Always account for standard deviation.
Aren't you the eccentric sort?
Investigator.
Apologies, but an automechanical's work is never concluded.
Try not to deviate from the norm. That's one way to become the center of attention.
Something about that Alva doesn't square. And she called me sad. I'm not sad. Just for the record.
Excuse me. My injuries are not...
Troublemaker approaching. Got my lamps on an unfront.
My thanks and my hammer.
soft spot.
Locked and loaded.
Look grim, Commander. Lethal measures at the ready, Commander.
Finally, a favorable happenstance. After I became stuck in here, those organisms appeared, all hungry-eyed and slavering profusely. The door jammed. Not sure how. Worked perfectly acceptably earlier. Lockdown and my clumsy fumbling triggered a precautionary security setting. I can't reset it from here, and I'm not particularly enamored of being closed in. Depends on your level of moxie and know-how, I suspect. Let me think. You could try jimmying the door open if you have engineering expertise, or, I don't know, engage in a routine advanced physical regime. Otherwise, the safety reset is in a wall panel around the corner, though that seems a bit boring for a dynamic sort like you. That much I certainly can do. Thank you kindly. I am decidedly in your debt. Anything you need? Anything I, a lowly archivist, can provide you, a heroic individual who is handy with doors? Of course. I am now able to breathe easy and respond freely. Works in operations, right? Always on about her stories. Wish I had time to watch serials and read all day. I was in my cot doing advanced equations. After the explosion occurred, I rushed here to check my terminal. The door was creaky to open. I should have known it would lodge in place when it closed, but I was distracted by the disheveled state of the room and rushed inside. Strange question, but yes, all commands path through the hub here. Through that wiring underneath that open floor panel in the back of the room, actually. Well, in my professional opinion, looks like someone rerouted some commands from operations. Not sure which ones. Based on the sloppy state it was left in, I'd say they either barely knew what they were doing or were in a rush, or both. Well, that's about everything I know about everything. Let you be on your way. Careful on your way out. Try not to be liquefied and subsequently devoured. May all your theories prove true.
Hello, dear.
Why, we were just talking about you.
Or specifically, potential implications for a multitude of troubling scenarios, based on probable results of your investigation, downstream outcomes, and such and the like.
You know how the Order is, always calculating something. But please, tell us what you discovered.
That you've found evidence that the coordinates were rerouted is definitely something. Would be an odd step for Alva here to take, except perhaps to throw blame elsewhere.
I admit I had the knowledge to cause the leak, but not the authorization. Svoboda has clearance, but not the know-how. I wholeheartedly agree, but her incompetence hardly absolves her. I'm sufficiently certain our Proctor is conspiring with an outside party, so I'm coming out now. She's going to tell me who she's working with. Then I'm going to kill her.
Wait a minute. You're going to what? Our investigation, it's unfinished, and you're an initiate. What are you talking about?
Oh, I see you two thought you were proving my innocence. No, you were helping identify my target. I'd advise you dears to help or stay out of my way. Proctor Svoboda needs to pay for her actions.
Yes, I concur. That may be the only part of this that seems certain. You are far more capable than some back manufactory button pusher. Who are you, really?
I am a dedicated agent of the Order, but no, dear. My name is not Miriam Alva. I am Marisol Delgado, formerly of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
That group was just a story to scare novice scienticians. Next, you're going to be telling me you're... Wait. It is you, isn't it? The one they called the Endpoint.
Is Commander not a cool enough moniker? What about the Scallywag? No?
I must admit, I'm not entirely sure. The rumors about your department. They said anyone who might delay the equation being solved disappeared. If there are any hints of truth to that, I find it severely at odds with Order tenets for balancing efficiency with humanity.
This is hardly the time for a history lesson or debate, I'm afraid. I arrived decades ago to lie low after a difficult assignment. More than that, I have nothing to speak on at present.
That you are who you are, and are standing right and have been here for years. It's all much to digest. I suspect your methods are not my own, nor the Order's, as I know it. And I fear your intentions for Proctor Svoboda.
It's sweet that you think you can stop me, but I'll elucidate this for you. At this point, you'll either need to trust me or back that worm Svoboda. That ridiculous little functionary upended my existence. For 20 years, I was Alva. It wasn't a good life I had here, but it was quiet. It was mine. It wasn't hers to take.
This would mean standing against a member of the Order. A mid-ranking one, at that. I cannot be party to this, but neither shall I stand in your way.
A wise calculation, my friend. Good thing you showed up when you did. You saved me from having to kill everyone here. Not that I was relishing the idea, but you provided other options. Svoboda has much to answer for. Let's go see that she does.
What's this? What are you doing here? Come to surrender, I take it?
After decades keeping this identity, your inexpert blundering has rendered it obsolete. I am Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor of the Order. This would be an ideal time to confess everything. Before you die.
You can't possibly be party to all this. Not with her vast misdeeds so readily apparent.
Our investigator has definitively determined my innocence following a thorough investigation.
I don't know what you found, but any so-called evidence was likely laid there for someone to discover. By a party with years spent in hiding. This is all nothing more than a flagrant example of artifice and bunco. An elaborate song and dance from an admitted imposter.
Enough, traitor. You made your play. You lost. No more deception. No more lies. Time to pay what is due.
No, wait,
Thus concludes a thoroughly distasteful business. Best search her office. Someone clearly was pulling her strings.
Would have been nice to perform that search before there was a corpse in the room, but beggars and choosers.
The terminal unsealed the effluvium repository. That's traditionally off limits. Ideal spot to hide something. We should take a look. space used to be brimming with runoff chemical sludge. It's been renovated, I see. Another terminal. Go ahead. You should have the honors. Proctor's efforts appear part of a larger scheme. Clemens? The archivist? Ah, that follows, I suppose. Still more that I missed. I have some unfinished business I need to get back to. I could use help from an operator like you. Believe my specific skills could benefit your efforts as well. I'd propose a strategic partnership. You help me, I help you. What do you say? I have an old contact on Cloister I need to look up. Part of a small matter there. Some research the Order considered heretical. Worth restarting, I think. Good, good. It's a little crowded here, though, isn't it? Well then, until the appointed hour.
I realize you didn't receive the most welcome of receptions here. Well, regardless, I recognize you've done right by us here today, and I appreciate your efforts. May fate and fortune converge.
May all our efforts add to the equation.
Apologies, this unit's conversation module is functioning intermittently.
You lose something down there? 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 You lose something down there?
This Marisol. Tell me I'm not the only one who gets a chill whenever she's around. Like someone paying my gravesite dues. Speaking figuratively, Commander, she's certainly capable. And I'm glad she's on our side, but reckon we can actually trust her? Marisol's obviously got her own agenda. We were betrayed by someone with ties to the Order before. I just want to make sure that doesn't happen again. That's for the best, I think.
Commander, if you've a moment, I wish to note my reservations regarding the Order member we seem to have brought into our fold. Setting aside my obvious concerns as an enemy of the Order, there's something devious about her. Something that sets her apart from her fellows. There is a bloodlessness to her nature. A killer's icy resolve. She's dangerous. Despite her alignment with the corporatists, I feel her intentions are ultimately benign, however skewed they may be. Marisol is more difficult to place, thus a greater threat. That was all I had on that subject. Consider my concerns logged.
Commander, you got a minute to talk? I got some thoughts on this situation with the refugees. The number of folks seeking refuge from the war is, well, it's beyond what I expected. And beyond what the Order is capable of handling, seems like. Auntie's may not be faring much better here, but we could at least find enough work for these folk to buy some food. You sure? He seems more concerned with the Order's reputation than anything else. It's a tough situation, that's all I'm saying. But if the Order can't even manage tens of folk at their doorstep, they ain't gonna manage much better should they win the war. But nothing's ever really free, is it? I went through this myself when Auntie's Choice took over Tau Ceti. It took time to secure the merger, but once they did, we folk got the help we needed real quick. And all they wanted in return was the signing of an employment contract. Now, I ain't seeing any contracts in Matriarch's mercy. So what is the Order actually gaining by doing this? The thought has crossed my mind, though I reckon we might have seen concrete proof of that by now. Anyhow, if the Order is in fact helping these folk with no hidden aims, then, well, I'll be the first to admit that there might just be merit in what they're selling. Appreciate you hearing me out.
Yes, Commander. I'm not hearing a question. Oh, I am a dedicated member of the Order. Beyond that, there's really little you or anyone need to hear about. Consider yourself lucky. You already know more about me than anyone else I've met in the last 20-odd years. I see you're not going to let this lie, are you? Fine. Suppose I'll elaborate. Slightly. I mentioned before I was part of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection. My role there, you may recall, was head intercessor. I was tasked to influence pivotal events, to keep the solving of the equation on track. Something occurred. I needed to step off the board a while. Dorado appealed to me because it was off the board, but not completely remote. There I could lie low for a time, but observe. So I'd believed. Our department was shuttered shortly after Ruth Pissar took office. To avoid undue attention, I remained in hiding. To put it mildly, after the incident in question, seeking refuge seemed prudent. Whatever's on your mind. Another crack like that, and you might just find out. Our department employed a variety of methods to obviate hindrances and threats to the Order's efforts. We were considered wardens of the grand plan, helping correct it when needed. Some were proprietary. Often they involved forms of subtle persuasion, others more overt influence. Now and again, more direct means were required. All of us are part of the plan. We follow the path intended for us by the architect. We should, at least. Now and then, some push back against their path, but it never ends well. Corrections can take time, even delay in the solving of the equation. That's where we came in, to get things back on track in the timeliest of manners. Do you now? Let's hear it. Sometimes, with purpose. Don't you as well? Do you draw some moral distinction between avenging harm and nipping it in the bud beforehand? Between covert and overt means? When all is said and done, are those in your ledger any less dead than mine? Had a sense you felt that way. We'll see if situations force that to change. May all our endeavors yield expected results.